You've got the look in your eyes. You're on a mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show 'em what you've got. Step up and take what's yours. You are kings now, Clash of Titans.
Everyone, this is Anthony with Tornado Tag Podcast. Short staff today. Got 3 guys, so it's a triple threat, I guess. We'll say.
Well,
you use this.
It's not the first time we've been in the triple
That was
threat.
turned off. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's gonna be a triple threat tonight. We're gonna get right into the news.
Breaking
news.
Right there. There's
New
your news.
champ. We'll get into how he got his championship in a minute. I have a hard time hearing. All right, that's a little better.
Yeah, we're a little loud.
Yeah, so I have different headphones than you guys do.
I know
so.
you do.
So what are you, blue?
Yeah, I'm a little there. Yep, there, right there. We're good.
Turn it down.
Adam Cole, baby.
We got my new Adam Cole shirt. We got a Repo Man shirt, a Kenny Omega shirt.
I repossess this title. Yeah, that's why I have that shirt.
New champion. So first bit of news.
Thank you to Pro Wrestling Scorecards.
Yes, Pro Wrestling Scorecards. If you don't watch your pay-per-views with those, you're missing out. It's a great time. The Fiend not only made an amazing debut at SummerSlam, but you know it's a hot thing if the Fiend is already going to be featured in the brand new video game, because that roster is usually dead set, and someone comes late and everyone's like, oh, I wish he was in the game, and you don't get that character in the game.
Or you got to pay $30 you're gonna have to get him.
Well, he is pre-order DLC, isn't he?
I believe he's
He's the first set of DLC.
Okay.
Yes, but I believe the DLC he's part of is called the 2K Originals DLC, and I think that's free if it's under the Originals stat. I could be wrong.
No. I think this is for Halloween because it's Halloween themed.
So this in the game is going to have a mode in the game called 2K Originals, and that's going to be something they can continuously add content to every month. And so the first month's going to be Halloween, so that's going to be the first batch of content under that Originals title, and I don't think it's paid DLC. I think it's part of the game.
I'm calling it right now. In November, we're getting the gobbledygooker.
Then Santa Claus.
Yeah,
In
Santa.
December.
Let me pull this up real quick.
Could you imagine having a match as the gobbledygooker and winning?
That would be great.
You take the mask off, it's like Pete Rose or somebody dropping a tombstone.
Yeah, just get Hector again. Get Hector Guerrero.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's going to be part of the horror-themed Superstar Pack. It's going to contain Superstar wrestlers. There's a Frankenstein Braun Strowman. There's a Demon King Bray Wyatt. A Nikki Cross. A zombie mode. And then I guess there's a tower mode. They're going to add some tower story as well.
They really missed out. It's not Zombie mode.
Not zombie mode.
Oh, they missed out.
Bree actually, it's not on my notes, but we'll get into why you said it. Or not Bree, it's Nikki put a picture up of her almost naked. She goes, I was gonna post it, but I didn't know if it's too much. But I'm gonna post it and ask if you guys think it's too much. Just show us your tits already. That's what you're pretty much getting at it. Just do it. It's out of control already.
Am I the only one that really doesn't find her attractive?
I mean, she is.
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah, I think. I can't stand her as a wrestler, but she is hot. She's definitely hot. Superstars, arenas, moves, weapons, and stories are going to come out of that. Next bit of news here. It's not official, but it's one of those through the grapevine type things. Is we might have seen the last of Dolph Ziggler. Supposedly, he had a handshake agreement that he was going to kind of stick around and do some stuff for them, and I guess he's pretty much saying like, I'm technically not signed, but I'll work with you guys until we figure something out. And he's pretty much saying, fuck your handshake, I'm out. So,
well, I think the handshake deal was supposed to be I'm going to lose like X amount of matches and then I want my release.
Yeah.
And now the whole thing is they're not giving him his release.
Oh, see, okay, that makes sense.
And he's basically in that holding pattern like Rusev and Lana where.
Well, Rusev's contract ends very soon.
Yeah, and that's why they're not using him, because he might be gone.
Yeah, he would.
He's already expressed his feelings about it. He feels like after the John Cena loss at WrestleMania, they had nothing left for him. He's felt that for about 2 or 3 years now, and Can you really blame the guy?
Any company he goes to, he has the possibility of being a champion right away.
Right. But at the same time, I feel for the guy. I was never really a Rusev fan. I know you're a big Rusev Day fan.
I
was on Rusev very early.
But at the same time, how can this is my problem with WWE contracts right now. You're literally kidnapping somebody to an extent, saying you can't do anything. We own you.
Yeah,
that's a borderline illegal.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they're paying them, they're...
Even if you were paying me and I'm not happy, why would you continue to pay me? If I want to leave, just let me go.
Yeah. AEW is going to have its first title defense in the Philly show, so Philly's getting definitely treated some love there.
First title defense and the first women's title defense that just came out today.
Yep, two title defenses in Philly, so if you are going to that show, you are in for a treat.
So the Young Bucks announced on Being the Elite that the first round match of the tag team title tournament will be the Young Bucks versus Private Party.
Oh, okay.
And then whoever wins with what are they calling the Super Smash Brothers now? The Dark ones?
The Dark Order.
The Dark Order, okay. Yeah. Them and Best Friends is going to be for a buy in that, so they don't even know.
No offense, but I kind of like Super Smash Bros. Better than Dark Order.
Yeah.
It just feels better.
Yeah. But they're evil now, and the one guy doesn't even wear a mask. So,
but I think their match of Best Friends could be one of the better matches we're going to see throughout the rest of the year.
That could be pretty good.
So during pre-show of SummerSlam, Elias came down and cut a great promo bashing Toronto as a city, and it was magical.
You said Toronto.
Yeah. Oh, well, they were in Toronto for.
They were. Yes.
Yeah. And he said, I can't wait to go back to LA with my buddy Kawhi and leave this dump city too. Like he just said so much. It was really funny. And then Edge came down and threw a spear out there, and then people were kind of scratching their heads like, wait a second, isn't he?
Yeah, like
not medically cleared to do any type of bumps in a wrestling ring, and then we found out that Edge is cleared. It's not going to probably translate into a.
It's not going to translate to anything. I just think that's a one-off for SummerSlam.
I think so too. Austin could theoretically get medically cleared, but he just doesn't want to wrestle again.
Can you blame him?
But that was Edge's way of saying, "I'm cleared. Thank you for the support."
But you're not getting this back.
Yeah, not even that. Not even like but that's his way of saying, "Hey, like I'm okay, but I won't be a wrestler anymore. But I want to let people know that I'm doing better than I was when I left."
And if you remember his retirement speech, he said at the end, "If I could do this ride all over again, would I do it? In a heartbeat." Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, he has a child, he has a wife. He
looks rough.
I don't think he even looks rough. I think he looks great.
During that skit, he looked rough. He's aging.
He still has the Edge and Christian show on the network. Yeah. They're still shooting that.
They have a very successful
podcast. He does not have to wrestle anymore.
No. But it was a nice gesture to like, hey, I'm cleared, and go out and throw one last spear or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Also, for reference, Elias is completely wrong. If you've never been to Toronto, one of the most beautiful cities you'll ever see.
Yeah. I actually got an Elias t-shirt as well.
Oh, you scumbag.
That's so nice.
Scumbag.
I love him. I love him. Love him.
Is it the tour date t-shirt?
No, I can't find that one. Hopefully it's at PPW. I think he had it last time I was there.
I didn't see it.
Maybe they sold out. Fuck. Hope I listen. I'll be at the next show. Oh,
you haven't been at the last two shows.
Yeah, but no, I was at 2 shows ago, wasn't it?
3.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because I went with Scott and Chuck.
Okay.
To the last show.
Speaking of PPW, they just announced tonight Frank Mir will be at the show with Enzo Cass and Rhino, so that's really cool.
They put another foot in.
Huh?
Madison Rain.
And Madison Rain.
I mean, I love me some Madison Rain.
Does that mean Josh Matthews is going to be there too?
Maybe.
Probably not. He wasn't there last time.
Oh.
Which I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
When did he start sounding like a 70-year-old woman? Because I think it was when he went to Impact, and he just sounds like somebody's Aunt Martha that smokes 2 packs a day now.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to when he actually like toned up, because I still remember him as like that 120-pound kid from Tough Enough.
Too small.
Well, speaking of another PPW star and former champion, Tessa Blanchard and Mercedes put on the longest match in women's history over the weekend or recently. So they put on a barn burner, and I said it was a great match. And they're being credited for the longest match and longest women's match of all time. This is another possible story break or spoiler alert. Chad Gable to get the repackaged name of Shorty G.
I don't even know why I told you that. It's embarrassing.
It is. That's bad.
The dude's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
At that point, just pay him to stay at home.
Yeah.
Do what you're doing with Rusev.
If you're gonna name me Shorty G, I'm going home.
I would literally go on TV and find a way to pull my dick out of my pants.
Just get fired right on the spot.
Yeah.
What you got to do is you have to wander into a segment, apparently, and I'm getting ahead of us here. You have to wander into a segment, and then you'll get a big match with one of the main guys.
Yeah.
Either that or you need to get well over with Stephanie to be able to recreate the Nike commercial and the scarf and run around ringside in your buff.
Yeah.
Spanky got over huge with that.
Or just dress up like a rapper and do a segment with Stephanie for Halloween.
Yeah.
And then you become the biggest star in the company.
Also, you have to slap that ass.
Yeah. Santana Garrett, am I saying that right?
Santana Garrett.
Santana Garrett signs with WWE.
She's worked for, I believe she was in the Mae Young Classic 1 year.
She was this past year.
She worked for WWE for NXT for about 6 months after the fact and left.
There's another girl that
she was an Impact for a while. Yeah,
they're posting all her photos up. She's a very attractive girl. I guess that just got signed in NXT. Everyone's kind of losing their mind over. I didn't see the name, but I had to look into it. Supposedly on social media, Jeff Hardy is throwing some hints out of possibly when he comes back, he's bringing back an old character.
What old character?
I don't know.
Jeff Hardy never really had a character in WWE.
I guess one of his TNA characters.
Unless we're talking about Broken Matt and Brother Nero together again.
Yeah, you could be doing Brother Nero.
And then, so this is a double-edged sword for me. Because I'm in one aspect, I'm super excited about this, but on the other hand, I'm not because of the situation that's being used in. So I'll say it in an exciting voice. We are getting back King of the Ring, which when I was a kid, it was one of my favorite things to watch. I fucking loved King of the Ring. So many good characters and great things have come from the King of the Ring.
It was better as its own pay-per-view, though.
I was there for the worst King of the Ring ever. I was actually at the show.
Oh, yeah?
The one where Bad News Barrett won?
Mabel.
Oh.
Mabel. And Savio Vega wrestled 4 times that night.
Yeah.
You see, I liked it when it was a pay-per-view because you knew what the matches were going to be, but that's when they actually were learning their matches on the fly. They were calling their matches on the fly. They were learning.
Well, we got the Best in the World tournament, which is kind of the King of the Ring, and people seem to really enjoy it.
But that was spaced out over weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, it was. But people enjoy the tournament style. Like when they do tournaments. I mean, besides what the hell?
Mixed Match Challenge.
No, I like the Mixed Match
Cruiserweight
Challenge.
Classic?
No, the fucking what was the I'm having a brain fart. It's really embarrassing because it's a big thing. The boxing when they fought each other.
Oh, the K1.
Oh, Brawl for All.
Brawl for All. Yeah,
Brawl for All.
That didn't work. But anyway,
everybody got hurt.
King of the Ring is back, and we're getting it really, really soon. We're getting it on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at it this way. The last 4-5 King of the Ring winners went on to have, about a 6-month push and then got completely buried.
The last guy it really worked for was Booker. He was the last one.
King Booker, he ran with that for about 2 years. But Bad News Barrett, Sheamus, Regal, they've all been buried after they won King of the Ring.
Regal got a wellness strike right after, and it was.
Well, here's the thing: they need to put King of the Ring more towards if you win, you're king, but you also get a title shot.
Yeah, that's what they did with Booker, I think.
No. Booker was already in the title hunt. King of the Ring just kind of solidified him being the #1 contender. But to give the winner of King of the Ring a title shot is the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's what they did with the G1. That's what there should be stakes.
So, roster-wise, this is a solid roster. There's a lot of potential to come out of this year's King of the Ring. On the Raw side, you have The Miz, you have Ricochet, you have Cedric Alexander, you have Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro. There's not a bad match in that bundle.
My final 4, there would be
Baron Corbin and Miz wouldn't be that great.
Yeah. Joe, McIntyre, Miz, Sami Zayn.
If I had to make an early pick who wins the Raw side, I would say McIntyre.
I think McIntyre might win the whole thing.
He's my one of my picks to win the whole thing.
I think you could get some mileage out of King Cesaro, though.
King Cesaro might run its course real quick.
What about King Joe? Because he has the giant gorilla with a song.
He don't need it.
But I do see them doing what they did with Sheamus, where Sheamus becomes like this forest king. I see Drew McIntyre dressed up like Braveheart after winning the King of the Ring. I can see that. I can see that gear turning in Vince's head right now.
SmackDown side. Now on SmackDown side, I would have changed 3 people.
Well, who's the initial?
All right.
We'll go with the changes.
Kevin Owens, Ali, Apollo Crews, Chad Gable,
Shorty G,
Elias,
King Shorty G,
King Shorty G.
There you go. There it is.
King Shorty G, and he's a rapper now.
Yeah, that's it.
He has to come out to like one of John Cena's songs.
Yeah,
though.
book it.
He's
Elias,
a Lil Nas X of WWE.
Elias, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Shelton Benjamin.
Andrade would be a good king too.
Yeah,
Andrade would probably be in my final 4. So would Ali.
Owens, I would say.
KO.
I think Owens gets screwed.
Who's the other ones in there?
I think it would possibly come down to Owens, McIntyre, and then McIntyre cheats his way to win.
Who else is in there? Because it'll be Owens, Ali,
Elias, Buddy Murphy, Apollo Crews, Shorty G, Shelton Benjamin, Andrade,
and maybe
Andrade. Drew McIntyre would be an awesome match.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're going to do heel.
No.
I wouldn't have had Apollo Crews in.
Would this maybe be where they right the wrong with the Miz for the best in the world thing, and they give the Miz the King of the Ring?
Very possible. It's very, very possible.
Apollo Crews is not. Again, Apollo Crews is right there with how he's like. Just like I said about Gable, great wrestler. It just feels like they have nothing for him.
I would have somehow found a way to put Aleister Black in there. I would have put one of the New Day members, if not Big E, maybe Xavier Woods.
Aleister Black would have been a great choice.
Black would have been good, but maybe they don't. Maybe they have who they want to win, and they don't want Black to lose. That's the only thing I could think is they want him in there.
And he hasn't really been on TV in weeks. It's like he shows up and then he's off for weeks.
I would have over Chad Gable. I would have put Finn in, but Finn wants time off.
Finn's on his time off.
Yeah. So I think the Raw side is pretty stacked. SmackDown. I mean, everyone's good on the SmackDown side, but you have a possibility there for maybe a dud.
I'm just glad Shelton's
comes
going to do
back
something.
on a heel turn.
Yeah. Huh?
Finn comes back on a heel turn.
I hope so.
Speaking of heel turns,
we'll get there. What the fuck did I write?
No more shared accounts.
Oh, no more shared accounts. WWE Network is shutting down the shared accountability supposedly with this update.
sorry, Alexis.
Yeah. Sorry, a lot of people. Yeah, so that's going to be a thing. I think actually I'm going to be picking up New Japan account, my own New Japan account. It's $9 a month.
A little more. It depends on the exchange rate. I think right now it's like $9.42.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's between 9 and 10 almost all the time.
It's still $9.99.
AEW signs Orange Cassidy, the
Great.
most violent man on the planet.
Great signing. Now, hashtag Tony Depp and AEW. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. AEW. Oh yeah, that's all right. I just read that one. Kenta joins the Bullet Club.
I think that's one of the best possible scenarios for him being in New Japan. I know they're working the angle that Shibata brought him in, and Shibata helped him get into the G1. And now apparently we're looking at a possibility of a Kenta Shibata match in the future.
I think Shibata seems like an Edge thing. It might have been just to show he's okay and he might not be wrestling, but it could be Shibata's guy against Kenta.
Right.
Looks like might be where they're going instead.
But as far as Kenta, for you who aren't familiar, the former Hideo Itami, I think that's the best way to get him to help him fit in there.
Yeah.
Stick him with Taiji Ishimori, so that way they can have their 3 heavyweights and their 2 juniors to kind of solidify the Bullet Club over there in Japan.
When he joined NXT and they took his picture with his debut picture with him and Finn Balor, he was wearing a Bullet Club t-shirt.
Well, him and Finn have had wars in Japan.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that he left.
You got to remember, also, Finn wrestled in Japan for almost a decade.
Yeah, he was there.
Finn wasn't wearing it.
No, I'm saying, but him and Finn between Noah and New Japan for the few dates that he did work, because he was loyal to Noah forever.
Yeah.
And then now for him to come back to Japan and jump straight to New Japan is a little odd. I mean, I figured I would have saw him in Noah and hang out in Noah a little bit and then maybe make the jump, but for him to go straight to New Japan and be like, I'm here, let's do this, I think it's a big step in going forward in his career, and I honestly see him potentially being one of those AEW guys that might jump back and forth if he goes there.
Yeah. TubiTV.com has all of Lucha Underground's content on there, so if you have never watched Lucha Underground, you want to get caught up, go check out Tubi TV. I believe it's a free subscription. You don't even need anything for it.
You can see when Ricochet was a prince and not a king.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can see NXT's new signee, King Cuerno.
El Hijo del Fantasma for all you AAA fans.
And you'll also see, Killshot?
Shane Strickland.
It will also be in NXT.
I forget what are they calling him in NXT now?
Isaiah Scott. And you also, who else? Kairi Sane and Io Shirai were in there for like a minute.
Yeah.
Hot minute.
There were a few.
Johnny Morrison and Ricochet's matches were unbelievable. Pentagon was awesome in there. Ray Phoenix was awesome in there. Lucha Underground had some awesome matches.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb.
Was Matanza. I believe they're talking about potentially...
Who's the dude with the big red beard? With the
Son of Havoc.
Son of Havoc was awesome.
M-Dog Matt Cross. He was in the first All In.
Yeah. And then the last bit of news here, if you want to, like I said, if you want to get full access and full talk about the G1 Supercard, go check out Calling It in the Power Ring. That's our buddy Andy's podcast. But Kota Ibushi defeats Jay White to win the G1.
And I think that's one of the best possible scenarios for New Japan right now.
It's been a long time coming. They needed that new guy at the top. I mean, the Jay White
had his
was
run.
established, and being a finalist for... They've been doing, what is this, the 26th, 27th G1 now?
27th, I believe.
And there's only been a handful of non-Japanese people who have even been a finalist. It's like Carl Anderson, Rick Rude, Kenny Omega won it.
Kenny Omega, I believe, is the only non-Japanese winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so just being in the finals is going to be a big thing for...
New Japan has plenty of plans for Jay White, just not right now.
But Kota is world-class. He's finally signed to them because his thing was always as a freelancer. He always wanted to go back to DDT, but now he's New Japan, like tried and true, locked up, and they're going to go far with him. He's probably going to unseat Okada, I would think.
Yeah. That's a very good possibility, but does Kota leave after his contract's up?
How long is he on a deal for? They don't just do the 1 year anymore.
I want to say it was about 2 or 3 years.
It's possible,
So,
but I think by that point they're banking on... I think at that point they're banking on Ring of Honor might be out of the picture, and
Ring of Honor is going to be out of the picture.
AEW and New Japan are going to be a little more in a working together state of mind. So even if he does go to do some stuff with AEW, he might be like the Great Muta, where he's bouncing back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah.
So Kota is... Oh, wow. Kota is 37.
Yeah, he's up there. He looks young,
at
but
37... You give him that 3-year deal that puts him at 40. What do you have left out of Kota Ibushi at 40?
Depends on the man.
he's a freak athlete, so he doesn't seem to have like the wear on the Tanahashi
He's had
has.
the Edge Sheamus Lita injury. Like his neck was done. And even when he took that, what was it, a dragon? The dragon on the ring apron from Naito?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, he just broke his neck again.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as that goes, Kota is going to go far. I can honestly see him finally getting his hands on that title. But for him to be in my eyes, he's still a junior. He's
I got it, yeah.
He's still, maybe 200 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the heavyweights that compete for that title up there in New Japan are pushing 230, 240.
Which is funny how even in the dojo, they're looking for people who are a certain weight, a certain height. It's almost like the old WWE standard, where they're looking for people who are 5'11" and taller.
You must be this high.
Exactly.
You must weigh this much, and you must be able to do this in order to be in contention for the heavyweight title.
Exactly, yeah.
And now New Japan, I believe New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor have shattered those standards to basically say that now it's okay to have a guy like Finn Balor, a guy like AJ Styles, smaller guy to win the top title.
Absolutely. Ray shattered that, even though he wasn't a long-term champion. Once Ray got it, anybody could get it.
And speaking of, while we're on the Rays, Ray Horace, El Dragon Azteca from Lucha Underground, may be on his way to the States.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just got one quick thing I want to see if you guys are up for it.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You guys want to do a dance break?
No.
No dance breaks?
No.
Well, what's up?
No.
Well, what's up?
No.
Well, that is our... I don't know. All right, listen. I put a really, really undercover photo of this gentleman on our Facebook page.
I thought we were talking about
Was he
Carmella.
hiding? Was he hiding with a mustache and and like a colorful afro, pretending to be the Russian announcer?
If you guys couldn't figure out who our spotlight guy was this month, it is R-Truth, Ron Killings. And oh
Suntan
boy,
Superman.
yeah, and oh
If
boy,
you want to talk about like the ageless wonder of professional wrestling, let's go.
Absolutely.
So let's get into this. I have a lot. So buckle up. Hopefully you learned some stuff about R-Truth that you didn't know before. If you know it all, then you're awesome.
Born Ronald Aaron Killings.
I got it. Listen, I wrote this. Put your fucking phone away. All right. So January 19th, 1972, which clocks him at 47 years old.
I don't know why I thought he was older.
47 still for that roster
Yeah.
to stick around that long.
Well, Flair wrestled until what, about 65?
Ric Flair is an anomaly. Ric Flair is like Tom Brady. Where
Well, let's be honest. Ric Flair didn't really wrestle at 65. He just got tossed off the top rope and did his bump thing that he does.
yeah, just good enough for some people.
Hold on one second here. And then he is 220 pounds, which if you look at him, you're like, boy, that dude is jacked to the gills. He had a few different ring names. The first one I'm probably going to butcher. K. Malik Shabaza.
K. Malik Shabazz.
Yeah, K. Malik Shabazz, K. Quick, K. Crush, Ron Killings, R-Truth. He was trained by
And
Chris...
you did say Ron Killings. Ron the Truth Killings. That's
Ron
where
the
Truth
Truth
thing came
Killings,
from.
yep. He was trained by Chris Hamrick, George South, the Italian Stallion, and Manny Fernandez.
North Carolina boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those guys. There's a great story about Italian Stallion. He was an NWA jobber, and he would be the guy when WWF was taping around the Carolinas or anywhere around there for a while, around like 94, 95. He would be the guy they would call to round up the people to lose matches. Like anybody that would bring it in as like an underneath guy. Italian Stallion was the guy they would call, and he would work there too. And he was the guy that started getting the Hardy Boys booked. Around like 1994, 95, he would bring in the Hardy Boys.
Who were also way underage at the time.
They're like 16,
They were
15.
working for WWE. Jeff was 16 when he had his first match in WWE. Matt was only 17.
Yeah. And at one point, and their whole thing was like whatever they would get paid, they would have to give it to the Italian Stallion. And one time they did this, they stiffed the Hardy Boys for a ride, so they got stuck there. And then that was the incident that made them stop booking Italian Stallion, and then they would just book people through the Hardy. So that's how all those Omega guys like Jason Arndt and all those other people, the guy who wound up being a DUP, I forget his name now, Mike Maverick, like that was how they wound up getting their first in with WWF.
So there is some stuff here that obviously I'm not going to go too in depth with, but there is a lot here. I didn't go to every single detail on the internet, but he debuted in March 15th, 1997. This is his WWF run here. He started in WWF as K Quick from 1998 until 2002. He was with the Road Dogg, became the Hardcore Champ 2 times. Then he was released in 2002 and moved to TNA as Ron the Truth Killings. And really cool thing here. He won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship 2 times, and he was the first African American wrestler to do so.
He beat Ken Shamrock the first time.
So
When he won the title, it was almost like earth-shattering in the Impact Zone when it happened, because nobody thought in a million years this young upstart guy is going to come in here and beat the world's dangerous man for the NWA World Heavyweight title. And he shocked the shit out of everybody by winning that title.
Then he had a little bit of a run, dropped the title, then formed a team called 3 Live Crew with James and Conan, and held the NWA World Tag Team Championships 2 times.
You realize BG James is the Road Dogg, right?
Yeah. Then he teamed up with and with NFL's Adam Pac-Man Jones,
Kind of.
Team Pac-Man,
kind of.
and
No. Let's nip that in the butt right here. That was not a tag team. That was a publicity stunt. That's while he was suspended indefinitely. He had nothing better to do. Jeff Jarrett reached out to him and said, "I'll give you $2 million to come in here. Keep your nose clean until you pass back into the NFL."
Yep.
Because Jeff Jarrett is a massive Titans fan.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he did that.
Well, it worked out for R-Truth because he got a tag team championship out of the deal. With
Again, not.
And Pac-Man couldn't even take bumps. He never got physically involved.
yeah.
Yes, he did once or twice.
Did he?
He'd tug in, he'd throw a couple stomps in the corner, tag
Because
back out.
that was when they brought in somebody else to kind of be the ringer as the other guy in the team. Consequences Creed, who becomes
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods, yeah.
Yep. Then he left TNA in 2007. This is good. So some of the minor details in between there, you guys are filling in. This is good. This is why I have you guys here.
To be honest, his run in TNA was a lot better than people might remember.
I mean, winning the NWA championship twice,
And that was early. He was the second guy under TNA's banner.
Yeah.
Shamrock was only the champ for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, okay, when's it going to be on Jarrett? That was everybody's perception when TNA started. And they waited a little bit and then...
Well, Jerry Jarrett knew what he was doing. He wanted Jeff to be the champion, but I think Jeff was the one who actually stepped up and said, "Not now.
Yeah.
I want to see if this company actually gets off the ground first."
It's the Cody Rhodes. It's the club. I mean, the elite. The elite. It's the same thing that people are saying with at AEW. Oh, you're eventually going to make the executives the champions, and they're trying their best not to do that right away.
At some point, Kenny should be the champion.
Yeah.
Kenny
Not right away. Jericho is a great choice.
Jericho is probably the best choice, and it's probably going to happen. But at the end of the day,
looks
Hangman
amazing.
will be the future of that company.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If they play the cards right, which...
Well, let's not get too crazy with AEW because it's truth time.
Yeah.
All right, so
It is.
2008, he comes back to WWE as R-Truth, and he wins the U.S. Tag Team Champions, and he becomes Tag Team Champs with Kofi Kingston. Now, obviously, he's not holding both at the same time, and just throwing some two titles out there that he won during that his debut time.
I love how they said when he won the 24/7 title, that was the first championship he ever really won.
No.
Or no, the United States title when he won it about 6 months ago.
That
They were
was
trying
it.
to say it was the first title he ever won in WWE. How do you completely blank on the fact that he won titles when he first came back and completely forget about it 10 years later?
He's a two-time U.S. champ. 2011, he finally got a pretty big push where he faced John Cena for the WWE Championship at Capital Punishment.
His
That was
best
when he-
friend, John Cena.
That was when he
best friend.
turned and he started...
Childhood hero.
Yeah.
His childhood era. That was when he turned and he did that one thing they did with the
Little
Giant.
Jimmy.
No, it was when he beat up John Cena to turn heel and just started smoking for no reason.
Yeah.
It was like in England.
No, I thought he did that with John Morrison. He beat up John Morrison, and he
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he started doing the Little Jimmy thing where he'd come out march like, "Little Jimmy's Warriors, hurrah."
Then he formed a tag team with The Miz and became a team called The Awesome Truth.
That was a good tag team.
That was.
I gotta find a team. Did they make merch? See, this is when I was not watching at the time.
I don't think there was merch for that. I think
No.
they just...
And then am I getting ahead of it where he teamed with John Morrison? Do you have that later or?
No, that didn't make.
That was Truth and Wisdom. That was a
Yeah.
great name for a tag team.
Yeah. That Awesome Truth faced John Cena in The Rock at Survivor Series. Since then, he has become a comedy act. He has joined up with Carmella, and he won the second annual Mixed Match Tag Challenge, which a lot of people hate, but I think they're a lot of fun because they're kind of like dark matches, and they kind of let the guys go out and they let teams go out there and kind of cut their own promos, be themselves, have some fun with it, and kind of they can be a lot looser.
And really calling R-Truth a comedy act is just part of the story. He is the best comedy act they've
Yes.
had in a long time.
I agree.
And then he's also the 48-time
Hold on.
European I-95 South.
He won the U.S. title again for the second time, and now he's the current 24/7.
No, he's not.
he's
No,
not.
he's not.
Oh, I said it. Watch SmackDown. Did he lose it?
He lost it on Raw.
Yeah,
Oh,
he lost
what
it to
part?
Elias.
Did he?
After he won the title back and he walked backstage, Elias comes up behind him with the guitar and whack.
And it's all right. So he was he's the most the most holding.
He is the Crash Holly of the
Yeah,
24/7
he is-
title.
he is the
How many?
face.
What has it been about 13 times?
I will get to that. Well, as long as he lost it and he didn't get it back.
He didn't win
since-
it back yet.
So then, all right. Well, then he's 11-time champion.
I have a feeling he'll get a 12.
Yeah.
I have a
I
feeling
think
it will happen.
I think the number's wrong. I want to say he's like 12 or 13.
He's 11-time champion as of 8/9/19. So he didn't have to defend. He didn't lose it or defend it at Survivor Series.
I think he had it for a while before he lost it to Elias.
This is right before Survivor Series, and he did not defend or lose.
He won it back on Monday.
On this Monday.
Yeah.
So then he's at 12.
He lost it to the Revival. The Revival lost it to Kalisto. He pinned Kalisto.
Then he's
walked
12
out and then lost it to Elias.
Then he's 12 times. 12-time champion.
It's coming for you, Ric Flair.
When he
he said he only needs 3 more title reigns to match his childhood hero.
he and if you're not following him on social media with the title, you're missing out. Even the title has been putting a shed of light for Drake Maverick. He's becoming a spotlight when it comes to it. It's a great time.
And one thing I will say about that, even when he was Rockstar Spud and Impact, the dude can wrestle.
Yeah,
He's just getting absolutely no opportunity.
he will.
I don't think so.
He's really small.
Yeah.
He's really small.
He's specifically a 205 live guy. He's a cruiserweight through and through. But at the same time, the dude can go. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see him and Mark Andrews again. Mm-hmm. They had a hell of a match at Rev Pro a couple of years back.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into a little bit of his personal life, and this is where I hope you guys can learn a little bit about him. He was raised in North Carolina. He was born, I believe, in South Carolina, but raised in North Carolina. He was a very big drug dealer. He slang some dope. Up into his early 20s, he always had a love for music and also hip hop music. He played football, track and field, and he was a standout athlete. He was offered many scholarships, which he turned pretty much all of them down because he had a dream that he was going to be a musician. He was going to be a rapper, and there was nothing you were going to tell him about it. And he just was not interested in going to school for sports. He wanted to do his music. He finished high school. He continued to sell drugs to make money and pursue his music career. He was arrested 4 times and spent small amounts of time in jail until he landed a 13-month bid where he pretty much made a change. When he was sitting in jail, he goes, "This is not what I want to be anymore. I'm going to get out. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to focus on my music, but I'm not going to turn that life to drugs anymore." And he changed that lifestyle up. Once he was released, he was in a halfway house, and he became friends, or somehow, I don't know the whole backstory to this.
He met Jim Crockett's wife.
Jackie Crockett, yep.
Oh, wait. Jackie Crockett is not Jim Crockett's wife.
No. Jackie Crockett.
It's a brother.
Yeah.
He was
actually a guy, yeah.
He was a cameraman for the NWA.
Yep, he became a cameraman. At the time,
they don't say that stuff when you're reaching. They just say Jackie Crockett. You automatically assume it's his
Jackie
wife.
Crockett always ran the camera.
Yeah, so Jackie Crockett of NWA, he met him, and he pretty much, Jackie talked him saying, "Hey, you should become a wrestler. You have a great look. You have it all. You have everything you need there." And he goes, "No, I'm good. I want to work on my music." And he tried it for 2 more years, and the music thing wasn't working out.
Have you ever heard R-Truth rap?
Yeah. Huh?
I don't know how it didn't work.
Yeah. Is it not bad? Or is he terrible?
I wouldn't say he's that kind of rapper, but the dude can sling lyrics.
Okay. I have personally not listened to it yet, but I will give you some reference
I
points.
think he did put out like an actual album while he was wrestling, but
he did.
Really?
Yeah.
When he was in Impact, I think so.
So after 2 years, he realized that this music thing wasn't working, and he probably also realized that he's slowly becoming broke, and he doesn't want to go back to the easy money, so he needs to start getting a job and needs to start turning his life around. He then contacted Crockett again, who now was the senior cameraman for the WWW, and took him to WCW shows and PFW events, and pretty much introduced him to everybody and said, "Hey, this guy," and just pretty much R-Truth started working the connections, started meeting people, and if his personality definitely shined. R-Truth is someone I guess when you meet him, he's going to stick in your head forever.
They say Vince loves him.
Yeah.
They say Vince adores him.
Him and Vince, from my understanding, Truth and Vince have a relationship that a lot of wrestlers wish they had with him.
Yeah. And Truth probably treats him just like every other person, and
Truth is one of the only people that can actually get away with calling him Vince.
Yeah. So Truth then debuted in PFW in 1997 as a manager. He spent 3 years traveling and training with Manny Fernandez, and then 96 he finally he debuted in NWA Wildside as K Crush and became the NWA Wildside TV champ.
That is the same company that brought you AJ Styles too.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he actually trained on the fly like that, though. He didn't sit at home and train. He actually trained by going through matches.
Mm-hmm. Well, when he was on TV, he was a manager, so he probably spent most of his training. Before the crowd got there, he probably did some training, did some work.
Yeah, you're saying PWF, like his trainers. PWF was run by Italian Stein and George South, so he was probably learning as he was going along.
Yeah, so he was probably the guy who set up the ring, broke down the ring, and then when it was set up, he would get a couple bumps in, learn some things, work some things, come out as a manager, learn the ins and outs, pick people's ears. He did it the right way. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's kind of doing the opposite. I know I'm not saying this because everyone's like, "Oh, fuck you, Tony, for bringing it up," but he was kind of the Enzo at one point, but instead of getting the training, he was a mouthpiece. And I think Enzo now is going around the indie scene, and he's maybe doing what Truth did for 3 years. Where now he's going in and he's paying his dues. He's trying to learn the indie circuit. He's picking people's brains because Enzo and Kath both said they're learning. They're trying to learn as much as they can in the indies now, rebrand themselves, and then make a debut into a mainstream TV spot again.
And I know you're a big Enzo and Cass.
I think they're going to do it.
I think it's too late.
I don't
know if it's too late for Cass.
No, it's too late for Enzo. Enzo's already got kind of like that. He's kind of got that black mark on his name. It's like,
but when
it comes down to it, I think
you
people
have
see
that black mark. There's no one who generates as much buzz as him.
That's okay. You can generate as much buzz as you want because at the end of the day, the buzz can be unplugged.
Not when you're Enzo.
There's more upside to Cass being a big dude.
Cass looks amazing now too.
There's more really upside to Cass than there is Enzo because Cass humbled himself.
Yeah.
Enzo still thinks Enzo fucking amore.
On camera he does. I think off camera I think you get a different Enzo.
I don't.
We have no way of knowing.
I did see a couple interviews where when he's on camera and he's doing a legit interview and he's not in character, he's a different person. But when the camera turns on, he's Andy Kaufman. He's putting his performance on.
Was it one guy in the room or one girl in the room?
One guy.
Okay.
That was allegedly. That never happened. 2002, he wrestled an XPW as K. Malik Shabazz.
K. Malik Shabazz.
That's the only where I found where he wrestled with that thing.
It's XPW. Yeah.
When he spent his few months as a devout Muslim.
Yeah.
XPW was the porn company that had a wrestling promotion.
Oh wow.
It was Rob Black.
Yeah. So one thing I didn't put in there, but I was reading about it is when he was in NWA, he actually did before WWE brought him back, he went and did some stuff on the indie circuit, like kind of they freelanced him out. He won some type of battle royal or Royal Rumble, which then brought him back into the main light, which brought him back to TV. Okay. So they
holy shit!
They farmed him out. What?
I don't know if anybody's watching this, but I can't believe what I just read.
You're speechless.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Tony Deppen, local guy. You read it. You can announce it. I'll let you do it.
So we just got a message from Tyler, our colleague.
So Tony Deppen is signed to PWG right now, which is
he's in the Battle of Los Angeles 2019, which is an invite-only tournament.
Which the T-shirt he has for it is fucking awesome.
Yes.
I want to buy one.
Bola is a huge deal.
He pretty much has. So Tony Deppen has this. It's a silhouette of it, and it looks like the Battle of Los Angeles, Rage Against the Machine album with the graffiti wall, but it's Tony, and it says Tony Deppen Battle of Los Angeles. It looks.
And he's flipping me off.
Yeah, and he's flipping it off. The shirt looks so fucking badass.
PWG's official Twitter, as of 1/2 hour ago tonight, Thursday, on night 2 of the Battle of Los Angeles, Tony Deppen will face Penta El Cerro M.
That is a big draw.
Dude,
that is a big fucking deal.
Chills. I just got chills.
We need to somehow find a live stream for that match if there's going to be
PWG is notorious for not. They are video only still. They are like VOD.
You only see it when they put it on the YouTube.
Exactly.
So we're going to have to wait to see, ideally, Mount Carmel's own Tony Deppen against Pentagon Jr.
Yeah. Cerro Mero. Fucking awesome. Good for you, buddy.
I'm sorry. But holy shit.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Holy fucking shit.
Good for him. Good for him. And we just did the hashtag AEW sign him, and now he's wrestling. That's
one guy who's
that can only lead. That can only lead to two good things.
Yes.
All right, let's get back to our truth real quick. But awesome, Tony Deppen.
At this point, fuck truth.
No,
that is putting somebody in a position to succeed, and he has been building up a name for himself.
Yeah, congratulations, Deppen. Your hard work is definitely. I told you, man, it's going to pay off for you. Great, keep doing what you're doing, man. R-Truth, he has some film under his belt. He's been in 4 movies. In 2003, he was in the movie called Head of State.
Oh, okay. That was actually a wrestling scene.
Yep.
That was the Chris Rock movie where he's running for president and they shot in TNA.
Yep. In 2008, he was in the movie The Wrestler.
I was almost in the movie
He was
The
in
Wrestler.
Really?
He was in the beginning there, seeing in the, I want to say it was the match in New Jersey.
Yeah. He was in a breakdance movie called Breakdance Revolution, and then in 2018, he was in a movie called Blood Brother.
I believe isn't that the WWE films one?
His discography.
One movie he was not in was the movie with Paige.
He was not in that movie. We don't know who was holding the camera. No.
We know who was holding the camera.
He had 2 albums out. One's called Invincible, and the other one's called Killing It. So he has 2 albums out.
I want to say Killing It was the one he did in Impact.
Yeah. Killing It was in 2016.
That would have been WWE.
Yeah.
So here's some accomplishments for the guy. First thing is he was Cyberspace Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. He was Memphis Championship Heavyweight Championship twice. NWA Wildside TV Champ once. NWA Heavyweight Champ twice. NWA Tag Team Champions twice. TNA Tag Team Champions once. 12-time WWE 24/7 I-97 Hardcore TV
I-95 South
I-95 South Cruiserweight European Champion. He was 1-time WWE Tag Team Champion, 2-time WWE US Champion. He was a 2-time WWF Hardcore Champion. He won the Bragging Rights Trophy in 2009. He was Mixed Match Challenge Season 2 winner. He won 2 Slammy Awards, one in 2008 for Best Musical Performance, and in 2015 for the LOL Moment of the Year.
Fitting.
What was that moment?
I don't remember.
What year was it?
2015, I think it says.
Was that the? No, that was way before because he caught a lot of heat once, and they never let him live it down for the longest time. When he said they were in Milwaukee, and he said they were in Green Bay.
That might be the reason why he just purposely messes stuff up now.
I think that they come from that. Yeah.
He was Pro Wrestling Illustrated Tag Team of the Year in 2012.
Who was that with, Miz?
It might have been the Miz, or maybe even with.
I don't think it could have been the Miz because I think that was the year the Miz was on his 1-year title run.
Yeah. 2011 I think was when Miz.
He was ranked 18th out of 500 in 2004 for Pro Wrestling Insider's Top 500. And then the Observer ranked him as the worst match in 2006 because he was in the Reverse Battle Royal and Impact.
Oh no, the Reverse Battle Royal.
I'm going to let you guys cover Raw real quick. I'm going to go take a pee.
I did not watch Raw.
Oh. Did you watch Raw?
I watched about the first 40 minutes on the treadmill at the gym.
Let's hit the big story on that. Sasha Banks is back.
Yeah.
And she has blue hair now. So
I mean, we all saw it coming. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. The Sasha Banks heel flip has happened.
Yeah, and I liked her a lot more in NXT. I think maybe she'll slow down. Well, obviously not because she apparently almost killed Becky Lynch with a chair. But
I wonder how much heat she's actually going to get for that now that they look back and like, oh my god, she smoked her in the back of the head.
Yeah, because Becky is the golden goose now in the women's
division. It's not only that, it's like the chair shot to the head is like excommunicado number 1.
Mm-hmm. Especially with...
accidental or not, I still think they know she should have been a little lower on her shots.
Especially with how they're now going after AEW for being blood and guts, even though it's just Vince trying to posture it and plant that seed in TNT's head.
I still don't see that as blood and guts. I just see one or two matches where you have a little bit of bloodshed is not bad.
It's Vince trying to paint his rival as what he wants them to be seen as.
I'm sorry, but I think that's what's going to draw the crowd is people want to see like that true style of wrestling again.
Yeah. I
mean, I can do without the chair shots to the head. I can do without a lot of that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if your product is already better than what they're putting out, prove it.
Yeah.
If Vince can go off and say, I have a better product, prove it.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and wait for them to debut their final pay-per-view and then their first show, and watch your ratings tank hard on a weekly basis for one night that you're not on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, NXT is the golden goose in WWE right now. I think that's going to take a hurting come that Wednesday night when NXT is no longer the golden goose on a Wednesday.
Very interesting. The other thing, Raw, we already went over King of the Ring. They announced that. There's the big thing this coming Monday. This Raw was really... They did something very smart here, I think, where They knew they were going to get a big audience coming off of SummerSlam, and they did. The ratings were up, so they used it almost as an infomercial for next week. You had your big shock day return with Sasha Banks, but then you also built up King of the Ring for this coming week. They built up AJ Styles against Braun Strowman. Winner gets a title shot against Seth Rollins. That was the other big thing coming out of the...
A lot of the fans are disappointed, though. There was no Fiend sighting.
Yeah, but if they're going to make him an attraction, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with less is more, because people were really hyped about Bray Wyatt coming in the first time.
And again,
and it wore out.
Don't get excited on the Fiend, because some reports that have come out saying you're only going to see the Fiend twice a month.
I'm fine with that. I think that's one of the big things that causes people to get worn out is and I think is that you see everybody every week and everybody wrestles every week and you get sick of it. Where if you have a guy who is an attraction, who was like Andre the Giant used to be, and if
every show, every night, every week, Andre the Giant was there.
No, he wasn't. They would loan him out. Like if he was there every week, it wouldn't be special anymore. That's what happened to the Big Show. That's what happened to literally Vince's dad would have Andre there for a little bit, and then he would loan him out to other promoters because they knew if he stuck around that diminishing returns would happen, and nobody wanted to see the Giant for the 5th week in a row.
I mean, back in that time, it wasn't necessary. There was a lot of guys, but at the same time, having Andre on the show every week could have been a good thing.
Yeah, for to a degree, and I think AEW is being smart with that so far, because already you're saying, okay, your feature match for the first week is going to be this 6-man tag. Your second week, it's going to be, I think that's Jon Moxley's first match, and then you're going to have your title defense in the 3rd week. So they're doing a smart thing with it. So I'm okay with the Fiend not really being a everyday thing.
No, now, do you think he asked Mick Foley permission to use the Mandible Claw?
100%.
Yeah, and I'm sure Mick Foley was fine with it.
His finishing move should be the neck break.
The Sister Abigail?
The murder.
The murder neck break.
Yeah.
Also, you jumped up off the couch and literally went, holy shit, when he did that.
Yeah, it was awesome. He fucking Steven Seagal'd him.
We were doing a little bit of a Tornado Tag podcast on interviews with everyday people this week, and we're like, yeah, you should just not literally kill people, but they should just kill people off.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, Finn Balor's dead.
Yeah. He's dead. Like, the neck break over pin, and then
the Demon King comes back and he's like...
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's just dead now. He's come back under hood.
Rusev's contract's up. Like,
you gotta remember, the Demon King and Finn Balor are 2 separate people, according to the company.
Yeah. Well, so is kind of the Fiend.
So here's my thing.
And that's what I say it all the time. That's what I really want. I want that squeaky clean Bray Wyatt in the sweater coming out and like beating No Way Jose clean with like a headlock.
Yeah.
Now, I'm fine with that. But now does that mean, like, every week he's not on, we're going to get another Firefly Funhouse episode?
Sure. That's how
or
I would
just
build
little
them.
things, just have the puppets in the background like they were doing for a while. There's ways to keep people... They have more than enough people where you don't need everybody on every show every week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see one where he's, like, walking backstage just like his Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And you just see, like, Mercy the Buzzard on his shoulder, like, whispering into his ear or something.
Yeah, 100%. PWG also had another announcement.
Oh.
Joey Janela and Alex Zane take on Blake Christian and Tony Deppen in a non-tournament tag match for Night of the Battle of Los Angeles as well.
Which night is that?
Night 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they're not going to announce somebody for night 3 because then you're telegraphing their rules.
So Deppen's also going to be in another tag team match with Janela.
Usually
and Zane
for Battle of Los Angeles, you're in about 6 matches.
Here's the shirt.
Oh, that is a very cool shirt.
I gotta have that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I have to have that.
But about 6 matches, give or take, is what Battle of Los Angeles usually entails for your contract for. So
he goes to Japan next week.
Oh,
yeah, and he's wrestling the great Sasuke.
Great Sasuke.
I'm terrible at Japanese.
That is an all-time great. Well, that should be giving you goosebumps.
He just wrestled Masato Tanaka.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Masato Tanaka almost killed him.
You familiar with Michinoku Pro?
Yes.
He started Michinoku Pro. Great Sasuke.
Okay, awesome. All right,
like people think Taka Michinoku, but that's a stage name.
Yeah.
Great Sasuke's last name really is Michinoku.
So you guys covered Raw and SmackDown for the most part?
We covered Raw.
SmackDown.
I didn't watch SmackDown.
The big thing on SmackDown is they had a very, very good Roman Reigns Buddy Murphy match. The kind of the through line plot wise was who's trying to kill Roman. And Buddy Murphy gets beat up in the back after his match with Roman, he gets beat up by Daniel Bryan and Rowan. They force him to admit he lied. But then Roman confronts Daniel Bryan and Rowan at the very end, and they say that next week they're going to reveal who really attacked Roman. They know, and they will reveal it. And
I kind of hope it's not Daniel Bryan.
Well, they've already said that angle or whatever, what the big storyline change that they were pushing at, they've already scrapped it. So
Yeah.
where are they going with this?
Yeah.
Either it's going to be a month-long storyline or it's going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. So in no particular order, we're going to talk about Takeover. Awesome card. Fucking awesome card.
I felt it was lacking. I went back and
my
I watched
God.
the highlights and I just...
What match lacked to you?
Honestly, the Io Shirai match was a little lacking to me.
I thought that was one of the best matches of the night.
I thought I can see where it's not at the highs of the best takeovers, but every takeover is good, and that one
Wasn't a Shayna Baszler Ember Moon. That didn't come off to me as Adam Cole versus Aleister Black.
Dude, some of the bumps they took in the match was fucking crazy.
That's fine, but you got to remember, Candice LeRae's also been wrestling guys for half her career with PWG, and she was wrestling matches against Joey Ryan for half of it.
I thought that match was beautiful. That match looked like a fucking G1 Classic match.
That's fine.
Io is incredibly talented.
That was awesome.
I just felt like that match was a little lackluster to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a skeptic on certain
I
things
thought
in
the
the match.
three-way would be a little better if I'm going to just split hairs. I thought
That's
the three
where
would be a little better.
Yeah, I thought that match would have been a lot better. Just being honest. So we had Velveteen Dream, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong. Velveteen Dream did retain. It was a good finish. I thought it was a smart finish. Candice LeRae, Io Shirai. Io Shirai wins.
But that also takes away from what you want to see. You want to see Dream on the main roster.
I do.
Where are they going with Dream here? I mean, you let them hold the title again. Usually at this point in the year, you're halfway. Their year is halfway over.
Yeah.
So now you're not going to call up the Dream. The Dream's going to hold on to the title until when? Royal Rumble?
Who knows?
Yeah, I think
All I know is they did. Maybe he's in a Rumble entry. I mean, not a call up. He'll be in the Rumble.
That'd be a call up then.
No,
if they bring him up in the Rumble, that's his call up.
There's people who've been in the Rumble that weren't called up.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get to Royal Rumble. Where is it this year?
Where is it? Houston, I think.
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's in another baseball stadium in the south. I think it's Houston.
Okay, we go to a baseball stadium in Houston. Velveteen Dream is probably going to put on one hell of a match again leading up to this. Dream has had some of the best matches, period.
Entrance was awesome, too, for this one. He
Yeah.
came out as the Mountie.
I was angry. I wanted the real Mountie. I wanted Jacques Rougeau.
But, okay, Dream goes on for the next 4 months. 4 months?
I think except for maybe, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, I think except for maybe Gargano, I think they're maybe going to scale back because they want to keep NXT strong, especially
If it moves to FX1.
if it moves to FS1 and they're going head-to-head with AEW, and they don't want to take people off.
Okay, so we're 5 months out of the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is always the end of January. Dream, what else does he have left in NXT?
The title, the world title.
There's a
Honestly, if you were Triple H or Shawn Michaels, whoever's writing the card down there right now, if Dream was your guy, your push, should he not have that belt by now?
I think they're saving for the next maybe not the next big NXT, maybe one more NXT where Undisputed Era loses all its gold. But I think they're teasing for for them to get all the gold. I don't know.
I thought it was going to happen.
I think this is the one everyone thought it was going to happen, and then it's gonna eventually happen. But they're not going to just do it right away.
But here's the thing: a lot of people on the main roster now, like who watch main roster and don't watch NXT, somehow know who the Velveteen Dream is. They want the Velveteen Dream on the main roster.
Yeah.
Question is, when's Triple H going to let go? Because he's kind of like his poster child right now.
Maybe he's waiting for Vince to step away more.
It ain't going to happen. Because at the end of the day, the Dream's going to come up. The Dream's kind of do his Rick Rude Prince thing that he does. It's going to get over for about 3 months. And of course, God damn it, I'm tired of this.
He's going to get bored. Yeah. I don't know, man. He's good. He's super good, but I just don't see the call up happening anytime soon. I think what you're saying, how if they're going to go battle, they're going to go head to head with AEW. You need to have some firepower there.
I just think AEW is already bigger than NXT. They haven't had one official episode yet, and I think it's already bigger.
All right, so when it comes to TV, all right, we'll just say TV. I will probably watch AEW over NXT TV because personally, I don't watch NXT TV now. I just don't. I wait for the takeovers.
Now, here's my thing.
But when it came to, if you want to compare All In, All Out, fucking whatever it's called, all that, yeah, and are the Vegas show. I don't think the respected NXT show that was the same, like around the same time frame as them. I think NXT was a better show than those two shows.
I will put NXT's show right before WrestleMania up against anything AEW's done.
Yeah,
it's right up there with the best New Japan show.
Yeah, but now,
I think
now
NXT
come
puts
the end of the month
best-
here, you have All Out and you have the NXT UK takeover.
That's different. I'm really looking forward to Tyler Bate and Walter.
NXT UK does 0 for me.
It doesn't have to do anything for you. It's
Does
more of a
nothing.
preference to who they got. And I do think Tyler Bate and Walter are going to put on a great match.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Walter and Pete Dunne? Probably not.
I want it to be Vader and Sting is what I want it to be. I want it to be Vader and Sting.
Yeah, I tried watching it. The biggest thing for me is everyone looks the same. They all have the same look. They all have the same
God forbid,
style.
they all have the same beard and the same look. You just can't get past it.
Why does every single guy on the roster have the same exact haircut? That's crazy.
My favorite thing in NXT UK is that their big monster is like 5'7" and 212 pounds.
Yeah.
And except for Walter. Walter is
Walter.
a man in and of himself.
Okay, let me ask you this. How the hell is Wild Boar Mike Hitchman our age, but has less teeth and look like he's a 60-year-old man?
He's awesome.
Answer that. Can somebody please answer me that? What kind of matches has this guy been wrestling?
Yeah. I don't know. Undisputed Era versus the Street Profits. I'm going to be honest, man. I watched the Street Profits win the title, and I was like, all right. They didn't do much for me when they first won the titles, and I was like, really? They put the fucking titles on these guys?
I was really rooting for them because I hate the Forgotten Son.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Forgotten Sons, though?
It just bore the hell out of me, and I hate Gunner. I
Really?
just don't like Gunner.
Really? Oh. So, after this Undisputed Era Street Profits match, I'm more of a Street Profits fan.
That time they spent in Evolve really helped. They're putting it together.
Yeah.
But again, I go back to my point about Angelo Dawkins. He's had, 9 tag team partners. He's been in NXT since almost the very beginning.
This is the one that worked.
Yeah.
It was like when Jason Jordan hooked up with Chad Gable. It's what worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Angelo Dawkins tagged with Jason Jordan. Angelo Dawkins tagged with Chad Gable. Angelo Dawkins tagged with pretty much everybody who's been called up to the main roster already.
He's the Billy Gunn of NXT.
Yeah. I'm going to tag with this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy until they finally gave me the guy that's swag enough that we can make something work. And
I am very high on Montez Ford. Montez Ford is going to be...
You know what my opinion of those two are going to be on the main roster? Crime Time 2.0.
I think they're way better than Crime Time, though. I think they have more talent.
Yeah, I think they're going to be as well.
And they also... And who knows how long his influence is going to last, but they also seem to have Paul Heyman's eye. Yeah. And that's going to help. He's going to be their public enemy.
Yeah.
Like... He's going to be the voice of the... They're going to be the voice
I think
of the
they need
fan.
to go heel is what they need to do.
No, I think you go heel, then you're going to play right into the stereotype that people are going to turn away from.
I don't think so.
You can't have two guys who wear do-rags and chains and make them fucking heel because you're going to feed into every racial stereotype that's been plaguing black wrestlers for the longest time.
They did it with Crime Time.
And how long did... Where's Crime Time right now? No one gives a shit.
They were at GCW for the...
No one
for
gives
the
a shit.
clusterfuck.
Tony Deppen wrestled them.
If fucking, and it's not a knock against Crime Time, that's bad booking. You can't play into it all the time. If the New Day,
I mean, they were going around as heels or faces, stealing everybody's shit and auctioning it off in the crowd.
They were stealing, exactly. If New Day wasn't the power of positivity and they were heels,
New Day were heels when they first started.
I'm just saying, if they were,
that breaks my heart too.
If they were like, just played into every stereotype, people would have been like, I'm not into this.
It broke my heart because I wanted Kofi Kingston to be that Ricky Steamboat, Tito Santana, never a heel guy, and then he joined the New Day, and it killed me.
What were they, about a year heel?
Yeah,
And then they flipped them to the power of positivity and
Yeah.
started slinging pancakes, ice cream, and cereal.
So I don't know, but I mean the whole crowd, NXT crowd is very pro Undisputed Era, and as soon as they hit that 1, 2, 3, everyone in the crowd had their cups up.
It's not even the fact that they're pro Undisputed Era.
They are so pro Undisputed Era.
Hang on. I think they respect the fact that all of those dudes could have went anywhere in the world and wrestled. Instead, they came to NXT to work for the WWE. Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of respect for that because Roderick Strong by himself, one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really good.
Red Dragon, one of the best tag teams in the world. Adam Cole, local guy, probably one of the better one-on-one competitors in the world.
Awesome in the mic, great look, great in-ring ability, great in-ring charismatic. If you're gonna, like, and I said this before, everyone throws out the Dolph Ziggler is the closest thing you're gonna get to a modern day Shawn Michaels. And then you get like this guy's the modern day Shawn Michaels. This guy's the closest you're gonna get for a modern day Shawn Michaels is Adam Cole. That the way that guy can sell in the ring, his facial expressions when he's angry, when he's shocked, he just plays that character beautifully.
I'm sorry, but out of the four of them, I'm taking Roddy all day long. Out of pure ability in the ring, I want Roddy.
Pure ring work, Roddy, or even I like Kyle O'Reilly a lot.
Kyle O'Reilly is really good.
Adam Cole in NXT has, and because he didn't have this in Ring of Honor, he has learned how to be a star.
Yeah,
he has learned how to be a centerpiece of a company, and there's very, very few people in wrestling right now that know how to do that. Yeah, and he is absolutely one of them.
He's phenomenal. But yeah, Profits win that. Mia Kim versus Shayna Baszler. Baszler. Awesome match. Awesome
I loved that match.
Great match.
I thought that, honestly, that was where Shayna was ready for the call-up. I had a hunch that's why I went against her in the match.
Yeah.
I figured Mia Yim gets the belt, Shayna Baszler walks on.
Man, they're really high on Mia, too. The crowd loves her there. And then we get to the Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. When it came to this one, Brian, you fucking crushed it. He had Cole taking the first fall. Check. Time at first fall. You put 21 minutes, which was dead nuts on. We'll give you 2 bonus points.
All right.
Second fall, you gave to Gargano, and you had it at 28 minutes, which was 1 minute off.
Wow. Okay.
So you got that, and then nobody got the third fall stipulation, which was the fucking death cage, which was insane. When he pulled the bag out, I was like, oh, that's gonna be thumbtacks.
I thought so too.
And then he dumped it, and the crowd booed. And then he pulled the clippers out. And everyone was like, what, are you going to cut his finger off? And then he cut the piece of barbed wire, and I was like, oh, fuck. And then he did the whole, like, Adam Cole did the whole, like, terrified, I'm getting the fuck out of here, climbed up. Mm-hmm. And then when they were on top of that table, I was like, this is going to fucking hurt.
And it did, because they missed one of the tables.
Yeah, it cut
Adam Cole's back.
Adam Cole's back. Oh. Yeah.
What happened the last time that happened? Bob Holly needed about 40 stitches to close up his back.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that match was incredible. Now, the only thing that was starting to piss me off towards the end of the match, I'm not gonna lie. If Gargano would have won that, I would have been pissed. I'm not gonna lie, because I put it in the chat. John, Mr. Your finisher doesn't count. Like, the guy can take 13 finishers in a row and he's gonna kick out of every single one. It just gets to the point where it's like, then what the fuck? Like, really? Like Panama Sunrise off the top of the fucking ladder, to a kick out? Stop it. Fucking stop it.
I don't understand why the Panama Sunrise isn't his finisher to begin with.
I don't know, but
I mean, no offense, like, his finisher is appealing to look at, but it's a glorified shining wizard.
If you're gonna have that many near falls, then have them with moves that look devastating, but don't be someone's fucking finisher. Because every single time Adam Cole wrestles Gargano, his finisher looks like it does nothing. The match didn't end on a finisher. It didn't end on a finisher the last time they fought. It ended on a fucking a crazy spot. Like,
sometimes the crazy spot is where it needs to be.
That's usually where Gargano loses. Like with Ciampa, it was a DDT on a ring.
But
in between the ring.
But you're making everyone's finisher look like it means nothing to Johnny Gargano. That's the only flaw I have for that man. Everything else he's phenomenal at. He honestly one of the best ring gears I've ever seen in my life that night. That Wolverine ring gear was awesome.
I still like the Venom gear when he had the Venom gear.
Dude, even the font where it said Johnny Wrestling was the fucking comic book. It was beautiful. It was such a good gear. It was
great.
Now, see, at the end of the day, when they get their gear, it's all made through the company. Like, they can go out and they can get stuff made. But at the end of the day, most of their gear comes straight through the company, which is a little depressing now because it kind of takes away from.
But their gear is made by just like, I know the women's roster is like this little old lady. She just sits there and they're like, "Can you make this?" She goes, "Yeah, I can make this." Like,
30 years she's been doing it,
and that's great. I think they do that. When it came down to special appearances for NXT, I don't think any of us...
Nobody was close because we had no clue what to expect at that point.
I almost put Riddle and Killian Dane. I should have.
Yeah, that was the only part of the night I was like, I'm over it. It didn't do nothing for me. I thought that wasn't that...
I was shocked that Ciampa didn't show up.
Dave finished NXT TakeOver with 22.
Shut up, asshole.
Andy finished with 35. Austin finished with 38. I finished with 42. Yeah, I didn't get any. No one got any with the appearance. And Brian finished with 46. So I felt good.
So at the end of night 1.
Yeah. I felt good with TakeOver. But I knew going into SummerSlam I wasn't going to do great. Because there were some matches I picked with my pride and not with my heart. Realistically, the reason a lot of
Let's
people,
go over your card first.
We will. So I picked up my heart and not with logic. SummerSlam to me was WrestleMania for me. Going into that card, I pretty much could have told you every single person who was going to win. Realistically, I would have clean swept this card when it came to picks, but I picked a few maybe this could happen type deals just to maybe separate myself.
I'm sure we all did that for at least one match that night.
But just it was Summer. I didn't think SummerSlam was as bad as people gave it out to be.
I overthought one. I know I overthought one.
Yeah. But when it came down to the card in general, it was very predictable. They didn't really throw anything at you that you went, holy shit. There was only really one holy shit moment, and we'll get to that in a minute. So I'll just, in no order, we'll go down.
And there was only one perfect score all night for us on Pro Wrestling Scorecards.
Yeah, and that was Andy had a perfect score.
On the women's match, nonetheless.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Ziggler Goldberg. I knew Goldberg was going to win, and I tried to pick the right-hand column to make up for the 5 points I was going to lose on the left, and I almost did. I put 0 super kicks. I didn't think Dolph Ziggler was going to even get one off. But he no-sold, like you said, you called it. He no-sold both of them, got up and did his thing.
Dolph did
I literally looked him in the eyes. I'm like, he's going to super kick him. He's going to no-sell it. He's going to super kick him again. He's going to no-sell it. And that's going to be the end of the match.
Dolph did everything he could to make that was something, that match.
And here's my gripe, and I could be a bitter asshole wrestling fan. I don't care. But the same fans who you sit there and cry, oh, I'm sick of when fucking, because you're fucking CM Punk dick suckers. I'm so sick of when a part-timer comes in and takes someone's spot on a fucking main event on a roster, or they come in and take a title when they don't deserve it. Stop fucking cheering for Goldberg, because that's why we're getting it.
No
that's
offense, but this match, I don't really see you taking anyone's spot, because it was a 3-minute match and it was second on the card.
You know who I would have instead? I would have put over Braun Strowman instead of Goldberg. I would have had Braun Strowman squash somebody before I put Goldberg back out there. Because he fucking knocked himself out cold during the Undertaker match. He gets to squash Dolph Ziggler. Stupid.
I think that's the last time you're going to see Goldberg, too. Unless you see Goldberg versus Matt
God,
Riddle.
I hope so. Actually, the rumor is they're setting up Goldberg and Matt Riddle.
All right.
Supposedly they had some confrontation backstage, and so happens
this goes back to the Twitter war.
And so happens that cameras caught it. So
Goldberg is not a fan of Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle, honestly, in real life,
it's a work.
Matt Riddle in real life would knock out Goldberg real quick.
It's a work.
I don't think so.
It's a work. They're setting up a big match. It's a work. That's Matt Riddle's call up. Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair. Everyone creamed over this match. It did nothing for me.
The match was appealing to watch, but we could all tell that Charlotte carried Trish.
Charlotte, his back is killing her after that match. She carried Trish through everything. The only thing that I was like, holy fuck, that was awesome, is when they did the Hurricane Run up top rope, only because Charlotte literally showed her absolute strength and the fucking beast she is as a woman, and she fucking caught her in midair and brought her back up and then did the Hurricane Rana. I don't care if you hate Charlotte Flair because you think she's entitled because she's Ric Flair's daughter. She is hands down the greatest women's wrestler on the planet. No one's better than her. Nobody. She's fucking amazing. She's awesome.
She's up there.
She's up there, but calling her the greatest
best American woman.
Best American woman.
I'd put her against anybody.
I say that, but then she might not be the best women's wrestler who's the daughter of a horseman.
Tessa?
Yeah.
I would that's my dream matchup. Her and Tessa. We'll never get it.
Tessa will never come back to the WWE. WWE does not want Tessa. It's a shame.
Yeah, that's
what happens when you're a crazy girlfriend stalking your boyfriend at work.
Yeah. But anyway, Flair wins by submission. I missed near falls. I got Charlotte promo. No, yeah, I did. I had no for that. Then we got just like no order. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, which is The Fiend. Wow. What an entrance.
I've never seen an entrance get a holy shit, and this is awesome. Before the match even started.
Yes.
Perfectly executed.
Yeah.
It was great how they still kept the Fireflies in the crowd. The fans were still like...
I think that was going to happen regardless of what
But
the entrance was going to be or not.
It helped that they did a heavier rock version of the old song. They kept the song, but made it fucking heavy. And it was awesome.
Absolutely.
And then the entire time you hear the girl singing, you hear, let him in, let him in. Like, it was just so good. And he's carrying a lantern, but the lantern was
His head.
his own head, which was awesome. Then he gets in the ring and the whole crowd erupts. The lights turn on, it erupts. Holy shit, this was awesome chance already. The match started and he's grunting and growling. His demeanor's different. He throws a headbutt. Like, it was,
Instead of that running crossbody, it's not like the running headbutt.
yeah, it was. And then Finn started getting some heat, like some push, and
Cut down real quick.
and Bray just the Fiend just turned it right back around. He did a neck snap. He did the Sister Abigail. He did the crab thing. He the whole crowd chanting
mandible
yowie
claw for a
wowie,
finish.
and then he mandible claw to a pin.
Yeah, that was surprising.
See,
to me.
my only gripe, now that I think about it, with The Fiend, it's going to be really hard to put a title on him if he shows up once a month.
He doesn't need one.
He never needs a title.
I mean, there's people that are going to be calling for, like, oh,
No.
why doesn't he have a belt?
The idea of a title. All right, listen. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but to me, the title is to push someone to the point where they're going to take themselves to the next level. If you're already at the top echelon and your merch is selling and you're already a draw and you're one of the top selling person in the company, a title's not going to make that any bigger.
Tell that to John Cena.
Well, there's certain guys who are going to be like that cornerstone. There's certain guys who are attractions, and he's going to be more of an Undertaker. I mean, Undertaker's been champion too, but Undertaker was also wrestling.
He's another guy I think that
every
was
week.
underrated in that sense. 4 times. This guy carried your company for 20 years.
Yeah, but he never needed the title.
But would you
He
rather
never
would
needed
you
it.
rather be a 16-time champ and lost at 15 and only held it for a couple months here and there, or would you rather be a 2-time champ and held it the 2 longest reigning champions?
Well, that's not really Undertaker either. I think his longest one was probably when he beat Sid and lost it to
Yeah,
Brett.
but I'm just saying, would you rather have more titles or would you rather have less but have longer reigns?
When he had it with the Ministry, he had it for about a good 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Did he just have him lose it right back to Austin?
But him as a champion wasn't great. It was like, he has the belt. What can you do about it? Like,
He won the title at WrestleMania, and then he kept it all the way up and through the thing with Vince when they formed the corporate ministry, and then he lost it to Austin.
yeah. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. That match pretty much went exactly.
As planned.
When you throw up that career on the line thing, although the one thing I would have loved to have seen was Owens to lose and come back as El Generico.
Yeah.
That would have been great. That would have been great.
Wait. Sammy, Kevin. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, could I borrow your mask?
I almost had a perfect score on this one, but I said that they were going to fight before the match. All right, and that would have gave me the perfect score.
Wait, so how does Kevin Owens come out with, like, shirt off, the plaid pants, and yelling Olay?
I don't know if it has to be a shot-for-shot remake.
Yeah.
What would you do if you actually saw Sami Zayn in the ring and Kevin Owens comes sprinting down the ring as El Generico?
It would be
People would
great.
just be looking at him like, huh?
It'd be amazing. Drew Gulak versus
Oni Lorcan.
Oaken Lurkin. Drew won by pin. I don't remember having all the stuff with that one. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. It was a great match. I
think I enjoyed it more than most people did.
I understand why the OC was there because you're building up that strong stable, but it still kind of bums me out that you're starting to make AJ look like he can't win without team when he's one of the greatest on the planet as well.
He's also a heel now, so they're gonna.
I
do
think
that.
that match was my meh match of the night.
It was definitely good, but it was the.
I love that they gave Ricochet a new look. They had him sell a lot more. They had him. He was doing
The
some amazing
Nightwing
things
gear
with
was
one leg.
badass.
So the
Nightwing gear.
rumor is they're trying to push for Ricochet to possibly get a role in a movie as a superhero, or make a WWE exclusive movie with Ricochet as a superhero.
No
Because
offense,
he
but
can
if
do
they
his own
want him to
stunts.
be a superhero, let him start doing his original entrance where he hits the middle rope and does the actual superhero landing.
Mm-hmm.
That springboard flippy, I'm going to land like this.
But if his ring gear was Nightwing, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Becky versus Natalya. I picked Natalya. I knew she wasn't going to win, but I thought it would have been a nice way to give Natalya maybe a couple month run or even you give her a couple weeks and then have her lose to somebody and then you can put the title back on Becky, but let her retire as a women's champion one time. She was in her hometown.
And once again, WWE
But-
screws up the rules on a match.
But yeah, but the only thing is halfway through the match, I'm like, man, even if they would have gave it to Natalya, the crowd would have turned on her. The crowd was chanting "Thank you" for beating up Natty in Canada. The crowd was very pro Becky Lynch and very con to Natalya very early in the match, and it didn't change the whole way through.
And then the next night on Raw, Sasha beats the hell out of Natalya, and they
cheered her-
"Thank you, Sasha."
Which is crazy, crazy.
Which is what you can use to then fuel a Natalya heel turn when she comes back.
Yeah,
She wasn't that good of a heel.
Yeah.
she was a champion as a heel though. Kofi versus Randy Orton.
One of the better matches of the night until the end.
I didn't mind.
That finish was...
The finish made me scratch my head. It's like, really? He's won. Kofi's literally won every match up until this point. Now is the time where you want to start kind of making it look questionable to whether he can beat him or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's the rumors are setting up for Hell in a Cell.
Well, it's coming up, so they have to.
Yeah,
Kofi,
you got to do something.
Kofi, Randy, or Hell in a Cell. That's the rumor.
Would that be Kofi's first Hell in a Cell match?
No, he did it as a. Was he in the tag team one? No, he wasn't. It was Xavier and and Big E.
Yeah. He was outside.
Yeah, he was outside. He was outside this. He wasn't in it, but he was outside of it. Ember Moon versus Bailey. My heart wanted Ember Moon to win, but the way they booked her going into it, it was never going to happen.
Andy Hedger got his perfect score on this match.
I'll tell you what, though, that match was good.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
The only thing that I thought was missing was they did not give Ember a chance to go for the Eclipse. She went up, she got cut off, and that was it.
Yeah, as soon as
Didn't even give her a chance to miss it.
It feels like on a not SummerSlam show where they let the matches have a little bit more time, this match would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it looked like they had something going and then, oh, it's over.
Yeah. It was build. It was hitting its peak. People were starting to really get into
She
it.
goes up for the Eclipse like, oh shit, here's the finish, and then Bailey's like, I'm just gonna throw you off top rope.
Yeah. But in my opinion, these two girls are probably my two best workers, minus Charlotte Flair, in wrestling right now. Bailey and Moon.
That's fair.
Asuka's up there, but they don't use her. Kairi's up there, but they don't use
Yeah,
her.
exactly.
I think once Io Shirai comes up, you might see
This
Asuka kind of.
Io Shirai crazy personality thing is awesome.
I think once Io does come up to the main roster, they're going to put her with Kairi Sane and kind of let Asuka either release her or go do her own thing.
Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Once again, I knew Seth was going to win, but it's weird of me to say this. I kind of wanted Brock to keep it.
I think a lot of people did.
Seth just is ice cold right now. Ice cold.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell would have been a better setup for Brock to lose the title. And now they're saying, oh, no more rematches for Brock.
They're going to move Brock to SmackDown when the SmackDown deal happens, and he will be the one to beat Kofi and be SmackDown champion.
I don't even think Kofi's going to be have the title by the time that happens.
If they're planning on putting it on Brock, they might keep it. Orton is going to be fine with or without the title.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be somebody else. I think maybe... Who else is up there in the SmackDown title? Kevin Owens?
It sucks because
Have Brock squash KO?
what's gonna happen is you're gonna get Brock as your champion. You're gonna set up for probably your next big thing, Royal Rumble or WrestleMania by that time.
Question is Brock going to be okay being on SmackDown? Because he says he absolutely hates SmackDown.
And he doesn't have a choice.
Well, if it's on Fox and it's got more... SmackDown has never had this much... it's going to outdraw Raw.
Yeah.
That's how you set up Brock versus Daniel Cormier.
Nope. You're gonna set up. You're gonna get Brock versus Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns will be your champion by
I'm tired of seeing Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar. It's happened too many times.
That's what you're gonna get though. Roman Reigns is the face of Fox Sports. He's all over the posters. He's all over the Fox WWE comment or Fox. You're gonna get he's gonna get his title back. When it came to special appearances, I pretty much got them all. I put Drew McIntyre. He didn't show up. But I got Big E, Woods, Drake, Carmella. So for this pay-per-view, I've got a 99, which finished me at 141. So I finished dead last. Our former champion, Austin, got a 117, finished with a 155. Then we had Andy Hedder finish with a 128, ended with a 163. Brian had a 132, finished with a 154, so he actually moved up to third.
No, Brian was in first place the whole way through.
Second to last. You got second to last. And Brian finished with 133 and ended with 179.
You said Brian twice. I think you meant me. I had 132.
Yeah.
I can't believe I had 1 point less than you on that card. I thought you were gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
So Brian clean sweep, won both cards, and he's our new
I have this now.
Pro W Wrestling Scorecard champion until we get our better belt. But I personally didn't watch the random match this week. Did you?
I actually watched it before I came up here. I YouTubed it, and it was a 10-minute and 57-second match.
Oh, so you didn't see the entrances and everything?
No, I got right to the match.
I'll let
Surprise!
you guys talk about it.
Musical guest, POD.
When they played the 619 Booyaka.
Yeah, and Ray comes in, puts a big feather headdress on. He comes out, and then young Randy Orton with the "Nothing You Can Say" theme. You have that.
I honestly think that was his best theme.
I like that theme a lot. And it was funny because just thinking about that match, it's like, okay, this is right after Eddie died. This is Ray's moment.
Ray came out as the Aztec Warrior.
Yeah, Aztec Warrior. He's coming out. That crowd was so behind Kurt Angle for most of that match. They, Ray would get his hope spot and they would boo. That crowd loved Kurt Angle.
I think at the end of the day, the crowd knew what was coming and they weren't happy about it.
I think a lot of people at that time thought Orton might win.
Because Orton was hot, Orton was getting the push, Orton was right in the middle of his Legend Killer run.
Yeah.
So they thought, okay, Orton's going to come in, Orton's going to punt both of them in the head, and we're going to call it a night.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. One
of the things I love during the commentary, too, it's Michael Cole and Taz on commentary, and there's a great spot where Ray is basically being held up by Randy Orton, and he's about to do either a roll up or an arm drag.
He goes for that wheelbarrow that he does.
The wheelbarrow thing, yeah.
Orton drops down, catches him. Kurt slides in, and I understand a double German, but for Ray to go from one post to the other post
diagonally,
is ridiculous.
It is the farthest distance you can travel and still be in a wrestling ring.
And he was above the top turnbuckle. He literally flew through the air, and he's probably like, "Boy, I didn't come down yet."
And so that is a hell of a spot. And Taz says Suplex City. So
that was the first ever Suplex City reference.
Yes. I was just amazed how behind the angle or that crowd was until the very end. And Ray just hits a dynamite run at the end, and it looks amazing.
Minus the botch where Ray completely jacked up that around the ring post 619.
The 619. Yeah. Could you imagine them trying to do that on these new posts with the light up things? Would be impossible.
I don't think it's even possible.
But it's so funny because I missed the show last week, and I asked Tony in the chat what this week's match was going to be. He was telling me that, and literally that morning, somebody had shown me an Instagram thing where Ray had posted a picture of him in the Aztec Warrior thing, and in the comments, Undertaker's Instagram is like GMOAT, like greatest match. I'm like, okay, it was good, but
I wouldn't go that far.
Undertaker loves Ray though. He loves Ray.
I don't know why. I think it's more of a mutual respect thing because, let's be honest, Rey Mysterio, greatest luchador of all time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no arguing that. There's no...
Probably the greatest junior of all time. If it's either going to be him or Liger, you can pick your...
I'm sorry, but I put both of them at the top of the pedestal. You can't make me choose between Ray and Liger. But at the end of it, I want to know where Taker's friendship is with Ray on a personal level.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that they rode together for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So they traveled together, they talked, which you can understand where the friendship maybe came in.
Right.
But where's your real friendship? I mean, are they close? Do they talk?
Yeah. The only people you ever hear that with is way back in the day when you had the Bone Street people, the Bone Street crew.
And then back in the day, it was also like taboo to have a face and a heel ride together. You got to keep kayfabe. Mm-hmm. Today, let's be honest, kayfabe's dead.
Oh, totally.
Kayfabe is completely dead, out the door. Because you have guys like Tama Tonga Tongaloa who come off as hardcore badasses in New Japan. And from my understanding, they're two of the coolest dudes backstage you'll ever meet.
Nice guy. He's a nice guy.
So... let's be honest, kayfabe's dead. Nobody really puts on that severe tough guy thing anymore, unless you're Brock Lesnar, who's just a dick.
There you go. That's how you have to be completely antisocial and people will still buy in. But the whole thing with that match is remarkably short because that was really
for a world title match only being 10 minutes.
Yeah,
for a triple threat. And
it was before they really did pack in the WrestleManias like that. So Yeah, I wonder why it got cut so short.
I mean, you had a lot of false finishes. You had Orton hitting RKO on Mysterio. Kurt had him in the grapevine angle lock in the middle of the ring. Orton jumped up with a chair. Ray tapped. Angle got up, went after Orton. Orton got knocked down, slid back in on the backside, broke up the ankle lock again.
They really made Angle look strong, too, which is amazing because he's out of the company in a few months after that. Not too far in.
And that's when he failed his wellness test.
Spot?
Yep.
What? Oh, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Ray just sailed like
Taz
crazy.
had a little bit of thing on commentary.
Suplex City,
Yeah, Suplex City.
And Angle failed his wellness test about 6 months after that. And
makes sense. Threw two people across the ring.
He's a Superman. And the other thing is, it was so weird just seeing a WrestleMania in an arena. That just, because that was the last one. Everything since then has been a stadium show.
Yeah.
I mean, if they go back to Dallas, they have a chance to like triple, quadruple their money.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, I mean, they had 105,000 people in that stadium. More than enough people you should ever need. But is there really a bigger stadium in the United States yet?
No. I mean, nothing you would want to do WrestleMania. You could do like Ann Arbor, you could do the big house in Michigan.
You're not going to get that outside in April.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe for a SummerSlam. And I don't know if you pack it.
Even my team, the Chargers and the Rams, getting a brand new stadium out there in LA only holds 82,000.
I'm sure it's got luxury boxes out their ears.
The Raiders' new stadium, I heard, is only like 72,000 people. When are we going to get that stadium that kind of trumps the cathedral in Dallas? I mean, 105,000 in today's society.
When Washington Redskins are allowed to build a stadium in D.C.
That'll never happen.
With this new administration.
They can't even sell out the stadium they've got.
They sell it out just to the other team. But they're
sold out at the very last game of the season last year.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, it is what it is. It's still the only stadium states that you have to have, like, your season tickets get passed down from generation to generation. But
at least none of our teams are like bitching and complaining about the team name. So
it's because when it's a slow day in news, they have nothing else to talk about.
Give it 6 months, we'll be talking about it again.
Yeah. Speaking of Redskins, Dwayne Haskins 55-yard bomb touchdown. Nailed it.
Interception next drive.
We have a pick six for a touchdown as well.
The Eagles are down another quarterback this week.
Who?
Cody Kessler got hurt. He's in concussion protocol.
So who is the
Clayton Thorson? And they're still beating the Jaguars.
Was that the guy they drafted in the 7th round?
5th.
Ugh.
And they're winning 17-3.
They're playing the Jaguars. I mean, let's
Nick
be honest.
Foles
Nick Foles didn't play. It's okay. Tyrod Taylor looked good for us. I mean, we do have like legit backup now. I really hope we cut Cardale Jones because I can't stand him. Even coming out of college, I couldn't stand him. I thought he was completely overrated.
Laptop's starting to get hot.
But we're getting off topic here. We'll talk about this after we're off camera.
Yeah.
Pac-Man Jones, hey.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do here? Because I think we're pretty much wrapped up. Next week's topic.
We don't have really a topic.
Well, we need our homework.
We need our random match.
Yeah, we need a random match. We need some homework and a wrestler.
Unless someone wants. All right. Well, instead of doing a random match, here's what I propose. We'll let Dave go this week. We'll let you go this week. You pick the superstar we research. Well, I'll research, and then you guys can fill in when I do my thing. I thought I'm doing good with this. I like doing the research. It makes me busy. I enjoy doing it. And then you can pick the match that we watch. You could pick a.
All right, so we just talked about this guy actually as being one of the greatest of all time. Let's go with Jushin Thunder Liger.
All right. Definitely on that one.
So 2 Japanese stars in 3 weeks.
And it's fitting. He's wrapping it up. He's calling it a career.
Wrong bottle.
Do you want to? What match do you want us to watch?
Do you want it to be something on the network? I would say if I can make a suggestion.
The only thing
here,
on the network would be the Tyler Breeze match.
No. Pillman. Liger Pillman. Either you could do the first Nitro, you could do the Super Brawl 1 or 2.
Or anything of Liger at PWG.
Okay.
Preferably the Thumb Train.
Liger's always been very eager to do comedy.
So
I have it down. Liger, PWG match, Thumb Train. That's what we're watching.
So let's be honest. Everybody knows the thumb spot is a Tommaso Ciampa thing.
I don't.
Okay, so Tommaso Ciampa's thing would be to tuck your head underneath the turnbuckle and literally go to the other corner, lick his thumb, and literally run up to you and
check your oil.
Oh yeah. So I believe he went to do it to Matt Riddle, if I'm not mistaken. It was in this match, and Liger literally runs in the ring and says, "No, your thumb, my asshole." So
what do you have us watching?
it's a comedy. It's a 3-minute comedy skit, and it's hilarious. It's like anybody, pretty much they're all in WWE now that was in this skit. But Liger's standing there like smacks us like, "Come on, my asshole." So Ciampa winds up and goes for the spot, and Liger just clenches.
Oh no.
And it kind of reminds you of the Joey Ryan with the porn flex, how everybody's like, "Ah." It's literally like Ciampa's thumb is wedged between this man's iron ass cheeks. And it literally turned into a 10-man tag, into a 10-man train.
All right. Well, that's what we're going to watch. What do you got to plug?
Oh, what are we at here? Skookstock next week.
Next week's Skookstock. I'm excited.
I'm nervous.
I am
It's the home stretch now.
Are you coming?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm honestly nervous because I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. It's like one of those things that's like, do I throw up or do I just
wanna
get
puke.
giddy?
I'm probably going to puke.
He's got a puke.
Yeah. I'm gonna puke.
Oh, wait. Breaking news. We will have a new member to Tornado Tag Podcast.
I don't know when he's coming, but we have a new member on the way.
Yes.
I will give you a hint. Let him in. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to...
God damn it, just tell us.
We're going to let him in.
And he's got a puke.
What do you got to plug?
I have to plug Murder My Dude. It's on the hat here.
Murder My Dude.
ProjectHumanoid.com. We will be on Interviews with Everyday People.
Yep.
This upcoming... When's it coming out? Sunday? Monday? Saturday.
This Saturday.
And then Tony will be on Murder My Dude, which you can see on YouTube on the IWP channel. The audio version will be on our feed. Just look up Murder My Dude on iTunes, any sort of pod-catching service, ProjectHumanoid.com. So we did cover in this upcoming episode, in honor of Skookstock, murdered musicians. We covered John Lennon. We covered Dimebag Darrell.
Died on the same day.
Yeah, yes, December 8th. Mm-hmm. And we went into depth on that. We played Who Died the Worst. And a fun time was had by all.
Yeah. So the cool thing we're doing with this one is I want people to experience the Murder My Dude episode. I want people to see it. Maybe if they haven't gone to the Murder My Dude or Project Humanoid channels or pages and check it out.
Did you not binge watch all of their episodes?
Well, you don't watch. You're only
binge listen.
Audio only. I'm still an episode and a half behind. I started listening to the Appalachian Trail one. Yeah, so I just finished the first story on that episode. So what we're gonna do is I did an interview, so we learned about Brian and we learned about his roommate Jack. We learned about their friendship. If you're a wrestling fan, there is a shit ton of wrestling talked in that one.
The first 20 minutes of the interview was basically the Tornado Tag Podcast.
Yes,
So-
It's okay. That's completely okay.
Because his friendship with Jack literally started with some type of wrestling theme.
Yeah.
I won't get into it.
It was the
but
thumb spot.
It was the thumb
We invented
spot.
it
Yeah.
in 1995.
Let me ask you this. What was your first recollection of pro wrestling? What was the first match that you remember seeing that got you hooked on pro wrestling?
This guy is a wrestling guru, by the way. We haven't even scratched the surface of his knowledge on this show yet.
There has to be that one match that sticks in your head that is like, that was my moment where I was hooked on pro wrestling.
It was going to a show. Like, I had seen wrestling before then, but when I was 5 years old, I had just turned 5 years old, I went to the Spectrum. It was Randy Savage DiBiase in a cage. And it was just seeing that. Mm-hmm. And I was in. I was in forever after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, people, Brian's a great addition to the show, and like I said, we even haven't scratched the surface of what his brain is capable of with wrestling. So I'm really happy that he is part of the team. But check out the Murder My Dude show. So then, obviously, the Murder My Dude audio will only be on Murder My Dude podcast. So if you're like, hey, where's the audio version of you guys doing your thing? For the Murder My Dude aspect, that's only on Project Humanoid. But if you want to physically watch that episode of Murder My Dude, the first time it's ever been done in Murder My Dude history, where there's a video to it, you can watch it on YouTube, but the audio only will be on their channel.
And then, of course, the interview you're going to find where you find all the interviews.
Yes, so then you'll check all that out. So we actually do. So the way we did it was we did an interview, we cut the cameras, we changed out the mics. They wanted their mics. When they put their mics in and we got everything set up, it was nice. We had the stuff in our face. It was sexy. And then we shot a Murder My Dude episode, and then we wrapped up, and here we are. So check it out. That comes out.
Then we sat in a McDonald's drive-through for a half hour.
Yeah, for a half hour we sat in McDonald's drive-through. So that'll come out Saturday. The Murder My Dude episode will drop Monday. As well as the Murder My Dude episode and video dropping Monday, we'll have our interview with Adrenaline dropping on Monday as well.
Speaking of Monday, check us out on PA Live on promoting Skookstock.
What's that?
Check us out on PA Live.
Yeah, Monday we'll be on PA Live. Well, I'll be on PA Live. He'll be with me, but I'll be on PA Live.
We're going to have to discuss that.
Why?
Just details.
I'm not sure yet.
No.
You're just waiting to see if the puppet gets here, right?
Yeah. And then... yeah, that's what's going to happen. So it'll probably just be myself and the Crowbot Boys on camera talking about it.
That's not the details I want to talk about.
You're in studio with us.
No, we'll talk.
Okay. Anyway, that's it. So check it out. And then, like I said, come to Skookstock. A lot of cool stuff happening. And actually, no, the Adrenaline. I lied again. Adrenaline interview is not going to come out this Monday. It'll come out the following Monday. So the Monday after Skookstock.
Boy, I don't know how you got Lee Grimes in here.
Yeah.
Boy, he's fat.
You heard it here. Beat him up. No. You actually came up with a conversation during the interview.
Football?
A little bit, yeah. Football and well, things.
Well, I'm gonna have to listen to this.
He wants to come on wrestling show.
That's okay.
He wants to
I'm
talk
completely
wrestling.
okay with that.
Yeah, I said we always have a seat. So.
And can we end with a tornado tag, baby?
Brand new shirt. Buy one, get one for $1. Repo Man, Kenny Omega, Tony Blackwell, Bebe. That's going to do it for us for Tornado Tag Podcast. We'll see you guys later.
You know this humidity out in the